life as a Democrat. And the way I feel right now, I will never vote for a Democrat ever again in my life.
Nope.
Honestly, I stayed loyal to the Democrat Party way longer than I probably should have. I mean, I voted for Obama in 2012. I was a Bernie babe in 2016. In 2020, I voted independent because I was starting to get fed up with the Democrat Party. And during the 2024 election is when I really realized that a lot of the things that the Democrats were saying either didn't make any sense or were
No, it
completely
didn't.
opposite of what we had been saying for the past 4 years. And I honestly just cannot see myself supporting a party that doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, for instance, we spent the last 4 years telling people that it was privileged to care about gas prices when people were dying overseas, that
Right.
the president doesn't control the gas prices. And now you guys are saying the direct opposite of all of that. You guys
She's not lying. This is some action that you guys can see. I'm Deunta. Thanks for stopping by. She's gonna be cooking for a little minute. I'm gonna let her cook. I'm gonna let her rant and rave. That's my show is about, and she's giving you the truth.
guys are simultaneously making the argument that borders don't matter and that we should be ashamed because we stole the land from the Native Americans. If a mass migration of 25 million Americans into this country over the past 4 years is not a problem to you, then the fact that we migrated here all those years ago should also not be a problem. It's like, pick a side of the argument. You can't be on both sides. Is mass
6'7".
migration a good or a bad thing? And you say that voter ID laws are not necessary because it's already in the Constitution that you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. But if that's the case, then why did we need DEI if we already had affirmative action? You say that no one should be able to tell you that you can't get steak and lobster and soft drinks and junk food on your EBT, but you're mad that the military is getting steak and lobster. And mind you, they were fed this steak and lobster before they went overseas to fight for the liberation
And they do this every year, just about.
of the oppressed peoples that you all claim to care about so much. Now, I'm not really like one way or the other on the whole pronoun thing. I don't really think it's that big of a deal to call trans people by the correct pronouns, but y'all can't keep saying that consent matters. And then when a grown man in a dress with zero evidence of actually being trans wants to be called she, her, and we say no, suddenly our consent doesn't matter. Because actual real trans people who suffer from gender dysphoria are being further ostracized from society because of the people that are taking advantage of their situation. And allowing people to cosplay as being trans because they want the validation that comes from being in a marginalized community is actually very harmful to the people who actually suffer with this. Or for instance, this is a good one. You guys will literally sit there and say that abortion is necessary in the case of a minor getting pregnant because they shouldn't have to have life-altering changes made to their body. And then you'll turn around and say that trans surgeries are necessary because they are able to make life-altering changes to their body. Whatever happened to the simple phrase, children can't consent, okay? It should apply across the board. And not only that, but when it comes to these transgender surgeries on minors, you guys are perfectly okay with the government overriding parental consent and then have the audacity to say
like and subscribe, you guys. Like and subscribe. Again, she's cooking, she's preaching.
that it's the Republicans that are the ones that are infringing on people's rights. You guys are actually, I guess, unknowingly running with a narrative that implies that the government knows better about your child than you do. You guys will constantly get on here and bitch about how the government is corrupt and can't be trusted, and then you'll turn around and try to convince us that the best scenario is for the government to take control over the things that we need in our life. Our government being in bed with big pharma, with big food, with big agriculture, with all of these corporations is the reason why we as citizens are being taken advantage of, and yet your idea is to give them even more control over our lives. I mean, I was all in on you guys, okay? I was buying all of the free Palestine stuff. I was buying the little bows that had the money going to the people in Gaza, okay?
She was all in a Democrat Party thing. Wow. She was all in.
Okay, you had us buying this stuff not knowing that this was a symbol of oppression. You had us thinking that we were being tolerant. Yeah, this stuff wasn't tolerance, okay? It wasn't inclusion. It wasn't acceptance. It was literal funding of terrorism. And yep, you conned us into it, okay? I'll admit it. But you're not going to con me anymore because now I know what it's like to have a president that actually stands on his word and does what he says he's going to do. I thought I had that with Obama. I was hoping to have it with Bernie.
MAGA, baby.
I definitely thought I had it with RFK Jr. So him partnering with Trump was probably the best case scenario for me. And the fact that Trump himself called RFK Jr. and asked him to partner with him the day after he was shot proved to me that this is a changed person. This is somebody who actually wants to leave a legacy, that actually wants to mean something when they leave the Oval Office. So yeah, while I may not be a full-on Republican or anything, I am no longer a Democrat.
Hell no, no longer a Democrat. No longer voting for Democrat. I don't care. I'm going to jump out of office. I'm going to still be MAGA, American first, regardless. You know, I've been red pilled. I know my lesson. No more dumb stuff. Common sense.
Ever. Okay? I'm definitely MAGA. I'm definitely MAHA, but I am never, ever identifying as a Democrat ever again.
There you go. She broke it all down for you guys. She was long-winded with it, but everything she said was the truth. You know, the Democrat Party is part of corruption. They don't care about you. They care about the illegals. They don't care about the Americans at all, and it makes no sense. This is America. Take care of home. Other than that, like and subscribe. Glad you guys stopped by. Thank you.